Hey, what's up everyone, here with a quick comic book review. I just read this comic and I really loved it, so I wanted to share it with all of you. This is the Amazing Spider-Man Annual Issue 23, the annual issue that came out for the year 1989, and I probably loved this more than I should, because it was really just okay, but I really loved it. I'm going to get into why. I'm only going to talk about the main story here. You know, it is a fatty. It's 64 pages. It's awesome. Found this, picked it up for like $4, I think, and it's in pretty decent shape. And it's been on my list of comics to hunt for and look for whenever I visit a comic shop that sells older back issues. And I wondered why, but then, why did I put it on that list? But really, it's got this awesome John Byrne cover right off the bat, and Spider-Man and She-Hulk teaming up to fight the Abomination. He's my favorite Hulk villain. Every old Hulk comic I have with the Abomination, it's loaded with action. And of course, when it comes to She-Hulk, John Byrne is the man. He's the guy that made She-Hulk cool, so that's really cool. And I love this picture too, whether the balance is off or not. Really hard to squeeze Spider-Man doing his thing and She-Hulk, and then Abomination is like, oh, maybe I'll make him crouch, maybe I'll make him hold a car. But you know what? I love this cover. It's really cool, very exciting. And this is it has the plot by Gerry Conway, back when Gerry Conway was all about making good comics instead of complaining about women and manga having their boobs too big. And the script is done by David Michelinie. David Michelinie is one of my absolute favorite Spider-Man writers, so that was a real treat. Then I realized why this was on my list. This is some Rob Liefeld interior art. Some early Marvel career Rob Liefeld art. I actually heard, because I looked it up, and I saw somewhere that this is his first job at Marvel. And then I was like, no way. And then I found out that X Factor issue 40 or whatever came out the same year, but before this, that was his first Marvel job. So, but when he came to Marvel, it came pretty steady. So 1989 was definitely the year for Rob Liefeld coming into Marvel. Very exciting stuff. I think it's funny that Conway does the plot and Michelinie does the script. I think that was very common back then, that someone would plot it out, and the artist would come up with it, and then Conway got it back and he was like, what the hell do I do with this madness? So he just passed the buck on to Michelinie to write everyone's dialogue to go with these crazy Rob Liefeld pictures. So it's a lot of fun. I don't know what this big overarching story is. That's, I think, going into a bunch of annuals this year. This is probably Atlantis Attack story that they're advertising up top. Something to do with these blue bad guys and the Serpent Crown. But I'm just going to skim over that and get right to the Spider-Man. Look at that. It's early Rob Liefeld drawing Spider-Man. You know, we're very familiar with his Deadpool, and let's be honest, pretty similar look. But now he's drawing Spider-Man, and I think that's really cool. It just puts a smile on my face. And also on this first page, I'm like, damn, Spidey, nice ass. Like, he definitely, you know, Rob Liefeld said, if I'm going to right off the bat show Spider-Man's ass, it's going to be a superhero ass. He doesn't skip any glute workouts at the gym. So he's doing his thing, swinging around, goes to the Daily Bugle. And I just watched this really great YouTube video, too, of, I remember the thumbnail said it had young Rob Liefeld on it and said the Kurt Cobain of comics, and that's very true. It was a great comic. I think the video was called Why You're Wrong About Rob Liefeld, and it was defending him from a lot of the crap he gets nowadays, which is odd to me that some people actually bag on Rob Liefeld, even though back in the 90s he was the hottest seller ever. So he's a great artist. I love him. I really have become a bigger Rob Liefeld fan now, and I think his art just kept getting better and better and better and better. And which is why I'm really digging what he's putting out now, which is the Snake Eyes Dead Game mini-series, and I can't wait for the final issue of that. It keeps getting delayed. When I get the final issue, issue 5, I'll do a review video of the entire series, because I love his art now. Seeing him so early in his career is a lot of fun. He got famous very quickly, much like Kurt Cobain, and just skyrocketed into fame. This is some young, really young, maybe even teenage Rob Liefeld in the year 1989. So I think it's funny that he draws the characters with these open mouth, wide-eyed looks of utter bewilderment. It's not like open mouth, like pissed off face expression, like early Andy Kubert art, which, by the way, stay tuned for my review video of the Collection Obsession. But it's just like look of complete shock, and I think it's funny. Mary Jane is here waiting for Peter at the Daily Bugle back in the good old days when they were a married couple. She kind of has a scary look to her. That's early Rob Liefeld. She kind of looks scary. She-Hulk is randomly here at the Daily Bugle. And J. Jonah Jameson made this funny comment about how to fix New York's homeless problem by sending them all to Jersey. And you'd think she'd be here to do something lawyery and to get him to print an apology or a retraction, but it seemed like she just asked him to print an apology, which if you know Jonah, you would never do that. So then she says, "Who's going to apologize for you?" And apparently that was such a wicked burn, it makes the cigar fall straight from his mouth. There's that open mouth look of bewilderment again, and then the next panel, he's like, "Ha, I told her," and he's holding the cigar. I'm like, wow, he must have reflexes as good as Spider-Man if he caught that cigar. But then there it is again, shock and bewilderment. They're just having a regular conversation right there. Anyway, so the bad guys are going to turn the Abomination, or right now in the comics, I guess Tyrannus, who I know nothing about, is the Abomination, and they want Tyrannus back. So to get him to turn back into Tyrannus, they're gonna transfer it and turn Emil Blonsky, my man Emil, back into the Abomination. I remember when I first got into comics and I loved the Abomination. Me and my friends would say Emil Blonsky all the time. It's a fun name to say, and so I don't know why he's not the Abomination currently. So if you know, all you people watching this video, you 3 people, if you know what the deal is with that, comment below and let me know. And then I think that the bad guys were going to use Abomination to wreak some havoc, but then they're like, "Oh man, he's losing control. Nothing we can do. Let's split." And chaos ensues anyway. She-Hulk and Peter are aware of the danger at the same time, and they both suit up. Like Mary Jane, She-Hulk's got the big hair look. I like it. Looking good too, She-Hulk. I love this outfit. And Emil Blonsky turned back into the Abomination. And this is just awesome. This is what I love about Rob Liefeld. Whether you like him or dislike him, he's a great artist, and he brings that energy. There's a certain energy, a level of fun. That's what I get every time I see Rob Liefeld's art. And he's got Abomination's aesthetic down. I love the way Abomination looks. He's got the thin ears, the lumpy lips, the spikes on his head. Rob Liefeld is like, that looks awesome. He does a great job drawing the Abomination. So he's doing his thing, chucking bits of the wall at She-Hulk, her punching it. They're throwing down and stuff. Brings the wall down on him, and it cuts like randomly. It's like maybe Conway or the editorial team or something said, "This is a Spider-Man annual, so you gotta show this character, that character, and that character." So there's like one random panel of Aunt May, shock and bewilderment, watching this on the news, and Flash Thompson is also randomly here running toward the danger like a psycho. And She-Hulk managed to save Spider-Man from the building by shielding him with her body, and which I guess that warrants the look of shock and bewilderment. She leaps away. It's kind of weird. It's strange that they're not drawing on the elephant in the room. It's just She-Hulk and Abomination both exist in the Hulk's lore. They exist in his world, and they're not commenting on that at all. It's very random that they just happen to be fighting each other right now, but I thought that was really odd. But once again, like really random, like 2 panels of the Kingpin. Hey, you want to see how Rob Liefeld draws the Kingpin in the year 1989? Is that chin even possible? But anyway, I love this. So Abomination's huge. Probably punched that guy's head so hard it just disintegrated. And get this good shot of She-Hulk doing a flying double kick right at him. Flash Thompson manages to shake Spider-Man awake. Yeah, I love that picture. Really good motion. It's just fun. This is the Rob Liefeld energy, man, even when he was young. So it's just great stuff. Gets over here. She's pulling her punches because she doesn't want to knock Abomination in a crowd of people, but he's not pulling his punches. He's just clobbering her. And then I like this bit over here where Spider-Man says, "Looks like all the civilians are clear. So maybe I can end this quickly by taking off the kid gloves, by putting everything I've got into one tremendous punch." Which he does right here, and then he says, "Gosh, that worked swell. I think I made him blink." Then he pulls an Obi-Wan and says, "Maybe I'd best take the high ground and reconsider my strategy." So that made me laugh. And but then She-Hulk ends the fight by chucking a freaking tanker truck at the Abomination. and catches him on fire. He's probably in pain, but they can't tell. He is he's written kind of like the Hulk as being mindless, even though I don't know why they did that. And yeah, I already said that. It's like, I guess Michelinie didn't want to write his dialogue or something, so just made him act like the Hulk, very mindless and stuff. So then he jumps. I think he tries to jump into the river, but instead he lands on a boat. And you see all these people swimming to safety. It's like, good thing. It's like that's one thing the heroes don't have to worry about. But then they're just standing there staring at the boat on fire, and they're not helping the people. And then there's this really weird comment that it ends on. He's like, "You okay?" And She-Hulk says, "Sure, as a lawyer, I've counseled battered wives who were worse off than this." I was like, okay, how do you respond to that? And anyways, then it ends with him swinging off, and then cliffhanger for the big story. And that was it. Really great early Rob Liefeld, really fun. It's got that Rob Liefeld fun that I wish Marvel had that kind of energy again in more of their comics these days. And I get a bunch of weird backup stories. Gerry Conway wrote pretty much just a retelling of Amazing 15 with Mark Bagley. So once we get some early Mark Bagley art, but this is very basic looking art. So Mark Bagley ends up becoming my favorite Spider-Man artist, but this looks very basic stuff. Mike Esposito inking. So what made Mark Bagley so great as a Spider-Man artist to me was Randy Emberlin doing his inks. So imagine this, but with Randy Emberlin inks. It'll look great. So, it goes through that stuff, blah blah blah. Get a random Aunt May adventure, and but then the other thing I wanted to show you was this pretty fun Spider-Man's top 30 villain countdown. And this is kind of a really goofy art, and he's just counting down his top 30 villains in order. And I think it's kind of funny that in 1989, Puma is ranked ahead of the Rhino and the Shocker. I think that's kind of funny. And here's the last page of it. Of course, like to no surprise, Green Goblin was ranked number 1 with Hobgoblin, paired up with Hobgoblin for some reason. But I thought it was kind of cool that since Kraven's Last Hunt was still pretty fresh, that did so much for his cred. It boosted him all the way to the number 3 spots. That was kind of fun. And anyway, yeah, that's this comic. This is a great comic. If you can find it, go buy it. This is a definite must-have for any Rob Liefeld fan. Add it to your Rob Liefeld collection. Yeah, really great stuff. A lot of fun. Please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss my next review. Comment below, tell me what you want me to review next, and let me know if you like Rob Liefeld, because I think he's fantastic, and I love starting conversations like that. So, thanks for watching. Bye.